Hello and welcome to another video lesson with Mr. Roman. Today we're going to be talking about solving inequalities and graphing their solutions. So here we're given the inequality that negative x divided by 5 is greater than or equal to 6. Well, here to solve this for x, we want to make sure that we do the opposite of the order of operations here. So if we're dividing by negative 5, then we want to make sure we're multiplying both sides to solve this by negative 5. So we're going to go ahead and just multiply both sides by negative 5. On the left side, we'll be left with just a positive x, and on the right side, we'll be left with negative 30. However, anytime you multiply or divide both sides of an inequality by a negative number, you have to flip the inequality sign. So this is actually going to be this solution. X is less than or equal to negative 30. So to graph that solution, we want to create a number line. And we want to put 0 on the number line, and then just put negative 30 on there, next to the left, I guess, since it's negative. And then we want to make sure that we have a solid dot on 30, because this inequality sign is going to be equal to negative 30. It can be equal to, but it also can be less than. So then if it can be less than, we can shade lower. And so the solutions are all lower or less than negative 30. So that would be the graph for this solution to the inequality. Another kind of inequality you might see would be this one, where you have y minus 13 is greater than negative 16. So here you would want to start by adding 13 to both sides, and you'll get y is greater than negative 3. And in this case, when you want to graph that solution, we still have the 0, and we have negative 3. But here we want to have an open dot at negative 3, indicating that negative 3 is not actually a solution to this inequality. In fact, all the values that are solutions have to be greater than negative 3, so that means we need to shade to the right. And so that would be the graph for this solution here. And let's look at another one. We have 4 times the quantity n plus 2 is less than 32. Here you could use the distributive property to start with and say that 4 times n plus 8 is less than 32. And then once you use the distributive property, you can go ahead and subtract 8 from both sides, and you'll be left with 4n is less than 32 minus 8, which is 24. And then you want to take and divide by 4 on both sides, so that n is less than 6. And then here, if you want to graph that solution, we create our number line, and we put 0 on there, and we put 6, and then we have an open dot again at 6, and we shade to the left. Now, if we would have divided by a negative 4 here, so let's just go back. And if we would add a negative 4 here instead of a positive 4, and we would have divided, let me go throw that over here so we don't get confused. If we would have divided both sides then by negative 4, that's an instance where you want to make sure you flip that inequality sign, so that you would say the solution then is n is greater than negative 6. So again, anytime you multiply or divide both sides of the inequality by a negative number, you have to flip the inequality sign. And that concludes our review of solving and graphing inequalities.